A nation divided, the seeds of discord. The United States, in its infancy, was already a nation of stark contrasts. The North, bustling with industry and commerce, stood in stark opposition to the agrarian South, its economy deeply entwined with the institution of slavery. These differences were not merely geographical, they were deeply ingrained in the social, political, and economic fabric of the nation, creating a chasm that seemed impossible to bridge. As the nation expanded westward, the question of slavery in these new territories ignited fiery debates, further deepening the divide between the North and the South. Each side viewed the other with suspicion and distrust, their differences seemingly irreconcilable. The issue of states' rights versus federal authority added another layer of complexity to the already volatile situation. The South, fiercely protective of its autonomy and way of life, bristled at any attempt by the federal government to interfere with its peculiar institution. The North, on the other hand, saw slavery as a moral abomination that ran contrary to the nation's founding principles of liberty and equality for all. The furnace of conflict causes of the Civil War. At the heart of the conflict lay the issue of slavery. The Southern economy, heavily reliant on slave labor, viewed any attempt to restrict or abolish slavery as an existential threat. The abolitionist movement in the North, gaining momentum, condemned slavery as a moral evil, demanding its immediate end. Compromise after compromise failed to bridge the chasm. The Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, intended to appease the South, inflamed tensions further. This act required Northerners to return escaped slaves to their owners, even if the slaves reached free states, hence effectively making them complicit in the institution they abhorred. As the Underground Railroad ferried escaped slaves to freedom, the South saw this as a direct attack on its property rights. The publication of Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin in 1852 further galvanized anti-slavery sentiment in the North, bringing the horrors of slavery to life for many. Bloodshed on American soil. Key battles and turning points. The election of Abraham Lincoln in 1860 proved to be the tipping point. Lincoln, while not an abolitionist, opposed the expansion of slavery into the territories. His election, seen as a victory for the abolitionist cause, was unacceptable to the South. South Carolina seceded from the Union in December 1860, followed by 6 other Southern states in the following months. The Confederate States of America was formed, with Jefferson Davis as its president. The war began with the Confederate attack on Fort Sumter in April 1861. The Battle of Antietam, a bloody stalemate, proved to be a turning point. The Union victory, though costly, gave Lincoln the opportunity to issue the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing slaves in Confederate territories. Leaders and legends, shaping the course of history. The Civil War was a clash not only of armies but also of ideologies and personalities. Abraham Lincoln, the steadfast leader of the Union, guided the nation through its darkest hour, his Gettysburg Address becoming a timeless testament to the principles of liberty and equality. Ulysses S. Grant, the Union's most celebrated general, earned a reputation for his unwavering determination and his strategy of attrition. On the Confederate side, Robert E. Lee, a brilliant tactician, commanded the Army of Northern Virginia, earning the respect of both his troops and his enemies. Stonewall Jackson, Lee's trusted lieutenant, became a legend for his tenacity and tactical brilliance. These leaders, though on opposing sides, left an undeniable mark on American history. A nation forged anew, the legacy of the Civil War. The Civil War, a brutal and costly conflict, left an indelible mark on the United States. It ended slavery, the institution that had divided the nation since its founding. The Union was preserved, and the country embarked on a new chapter in its history, one marked by the promise of freedom and equality for all. The war also had a profound impact on the balance of power between the federal government and the states. The victory of the Union affirmed the supremacy of the federal government, a principle that would shape the nation's political landscape for generations to come. Echoes of the conflict, the Civil War's enduring impact. The echoes of the Civil War can still be felt today. The struggle for civil rights and equality, a direct legacy of the war, continues to resonate in American society. The debate over states' rights versus federal authority, a central issue in the Civil War, remains a topic of contention. Monuments and battlefields serve as solemn reminders of the sacrifices made on both sides of the conflict. The Civil War, a pivotal chapter in American history, continues to shape the nation's identity. It stands as a testament to the enduring power of ideals such as liberty, equality, and unity, while also serving as a stark reminder of the fragility of democracy and the devastating consequences of division and intolerance.